You're listening to End of the Reel.
Oh my god!
G'day everyone and welcome to the podcast episode about Twilight. Oh, I love it!
No, it's about bad movies, and
I
we're
love
doing
it.
Twilight.
Yeah, sorry. And sorry about that scream.
Because this isn't becoming just a podcast about Twilight.
This is
Although
just
it feels like it.
The Twi...
Because this is like our fourth one on Twilight.
Yeah, it's just like our Twilight fucking saga that won't fucking end. I'm... This, like, you know, you could tell with the third movie, Eclipse.
The third one felt like a halfway point. Like
It was
it
very
felt
halfway.
like a movie.
Yeah.
This, you can tell this was a full book that was cut in half. And because there's not enough content to string out for 2 hours, but they somehow do it.
You get what I mean? The first movie was just great. The first movie was funny. The first movie was funny.
Yeah.
You know, you got the whole baseball thing. The second movie was good. It was entertaining.
They're all blurring into one.
No, the second movie's like kind of good because it's so silly, and also like the werewolf side was like
that's
kind
she's
of
trying to kill herself.
yeah. And it
okay.
was actually like the werewolf side was actually like kind of cool. So it's and we learned a bit about backstories and stuff, and like all the other vampires. So it was actually good.
Yeah.
And then like the third movie is kind of meh. That's like the lowest ranked one, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Thought this would be.
No, I think, or was this the I think this is either the lowest or second lowest. I think it's the second lowest ranked.
That's surprising. Like, I found the last one horrible, but there was enough action going on that was entertaining.
You know what's interesting? I was talking to some people about it who like they love Twilight when they were like 16-year-old girls, which is perfectly acceptable because that's the age it's aimed at. And they were telling me that they loved Twilight and they thought that the third movie was the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Fun fact though.
But they're all bad.
Not a single one likes Bella out of the movie or Edward out of the movie.
Out of any of the movies?
No, they all fucking hate them. They all say the book's better.
Jacob's terrible as well.
They do say
in fact,
got
Jacob
the weird stuff.
is amazingly...
Oh, they hate Jacob.
He's the worst.
One of the people I saw was
so awful.
She was like,
especially in this movie.
She was like, so Jacob's just straight up like a sexual offender, dude. I'm like, you're right.
He's insane in this one.
He's insane.
At multiple points, he's either fantasizing about killing the vampires and Bella, threatening to kill Bella or the vampires, or threatening to kill the werewolves because they're threatening to kill vampires or Bella.
Jacob is an asshole.
I think 3 times he walks into a house about to kill like a child or a pregnant woman.
Dude, right? Jacob's whole thing in this movie is like
he is a monster.
He wants to kill someone.
Edward and Jacob go on about how Edward's a monster, but Edward seems to be the nicest person out of all of them.
Yeah, he's weird, but he's nice.
We finally get a horrific backstory for him. And even that just cements it that he's like, oh, he's a monster, but he's a good guy.
I want to get into that so hard.
Right?
I want to get into that. So
I want to watch that. That would be... So far, each of the vampires' backstories would have made a much more entertaining story.
Far more entertaining story.
Right?
The movie... Well, we start off and, of course, we're doing the wedding. They just cut to the wedding.
No, okay, so in most movies, right, when you go to a wedding, okay, you have to sit through, like, 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a crappy speech. I don't like the wedding bits out of anything. I don't know why, but it always irritates me.
What about, like, wedding crashes?
I haven't seen the whole movie.
What about...
I always skip the bits with the actual weddings.
Okay.
I just go to the bits where they're bumming around the guy's house.
You skip the whole movie?
I watched the funeral bit.
How about Step Brothers? There's a good wedding in there.
I haven't seen the whole thing either.
What about The Wedding Singer? The Wedding Singer?
I haven't watched that movie.
What the fuck, man?
What?
These are all great films. They're all comedies, too. I just realized I pointed out.
Okay, but usually in like TVs or movies, it's like you're
so
forced
you don't
to
like
watch
4 weddings and a funeral?
Oh my god!
You skip right to the funeral bit.
I haven't watched that movie.
I haven't seen it either, so I don't know if there's a funeral. I mean, I'm assuming there's a funeral, right?
Yeah.
No, but it could be one of those films where they don't. Anyway, go on. You hate the weddings.
Right, but
so you
usually
fucking hated this film.
Usually only forced to watch like 5 minutes. This one goes on for like 20 minutes.
Oh my god, so boring.
Character after character getting up and doing shitty speeches.
You know, it's always shit because
the only funny bit was the jock vampire.
He was good.
He gets up and he goes, "Oh, I hope you're you've got a lot of sleep because you won't get many sleepless nights after this. And it's like, no one laughs. It was like, oh yeah, all the vampires are like, oh, because she's about to be turned and she won't sleep again.
Yeah.
And all the humans are like, is that a sex joke? That is so bad.
Yeah, that's not cool.
He managed to offend the entire room. He was great.
He's great.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Why is he not dead yet?
Why?
Because he is the most
no
obvious...
one dies in this film except for the bad guys.
He is the most obvious pick for, like, a
die.
vampire character to kill off to, like, add tension. Like, I've been saying he was going to die from, like, basically the second film.
I'm waiting for the youngest werewolf to die. He's got a like a life expectancy.
Well, I don't know.
Thing.
This jock vampire hasn't died yet.
No, I don't think he will.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
I just don't... It's not following the path I've got for him. I'm like, he's still alive.
It's because you're still looking at this like it's an action or horror film.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of horror in this one compared to the others. This was...
Oh my God.
This is the first time I've actually liked Bella.
Yeah,
even before
because she's dead for half the film.
Even before she gets pregnant, right?
You like
she
her...
starts acting like a human for a bit.
Okay.
And I think it's because she's taken away from the other humans.
And then the rest of the film, she just acts as a lifeless husk.
Up against Edward by herself, she actually becomes animated.
Edward's also better.
It's because it focuses on Jacob, and Jacob is so much worse than the both of them.
This is the least entertaining film, but the best we have of Edward and Bella.
Yeah, Edward still irritates the crap out of me.
Edward's always been irritating.
His self-loathing
oh my God.
has... it reaches new levels.
Isn't it like 90, 92, 3
I'm a
years?
monster. Don't you understand? I'm a monster.
He seriously had like 90 plus years
to get over it.
Get over it, Edward. Get over it.
He doesn't kill humans. We find out his backstory, which is pretty cool. He's basically, during like the 40s or something, he'd go out and he'd kill humans and he'd drink their blood. And he goes on about how terrible it is. It's like, oh yeah, but he'd only kill like killers.
Yeah.
So he's like, he's still like a hero vampire.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
that movie. That looks cool.
Yeah, make him Batman.
The only problem...
Make him Batman.
And he's playing the new Batman, I'm pretty sure.
Is he really?
I think so, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor.
He is. In The Lighthouse.
So is Christian Stewart.
I haven't seen her in anything except for this.
They're great actors.
Okay.
They just... Not the right roles for them.
Well, no, I think they were perfect for this because they're meant to be blank slates.
Yeah, true.
Jacob's the only one who I think is miscast because the guy's... He's so goofy.
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah, he just sounds like a goofball. And then at the same
big
time,
old goofy ball.
He's a goofball who goes on about wanting to kill people. He just sounds like a sad incel most of the time.
He does.
Yeah,
that's what
when
he is.
he's on the beach. So,
oh my, wait, we gotta get through the wedding. Can we just get through the first 20 minutes?
Wedding goes on so long.
Well, we have the wedding. What's some significant things? Okay, so we find out there are other vampires who also don't kill people.
There are a couple of things I liked in this film. Mm-hmm. The first is that the Cullens aren't the only vampires who don't kill people.
Yep, they turn up.
There's like a loose network of them.
I think they turn up for the next film.
Yeah, so they're gonna
come. They're gonna come back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What was the other thing that I liked?
The werewolves there. Well, what happens is
the brother and sister werewolf are the only likable characters out of the werewolves.
Honestly, I don't mind the rest of the werewolves.
No, but they switch. They go from like good guys to bad guys to good guys to bad guys so quickly.
Yeah, they do.
It's like a switch gets flipped, and it's like, and now they're the bad guys of the film.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
The werewolves they come over because Jacob turns up, and Jacob's like, "Hey, I didn't have a tux," or something like that. Doesn't he say he didn't have the right?
Jacob does turn up to the wedding, and he's so weird in it. It's like, so they're going on a honeymoon afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, so you're gonna get turned on the honeymoon? After that, I'll have to kill you and your boyfriend." It's like, and Jesus, he also, Jacob, just calm the fuck down.
He also freaks out when he's like, "Oh, I'm taking her on a honeymoon," and he's like, "You're not turned her."
Because she's like, "Oh, he's not turning me till after the honeymoon."
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to spend my honeymoon writhing in pain."
And I think the thing is, Jacob.
That's when he freaks the fuck out because like,
Jacob thinks that Edward then, of course, is gonna fuck her so hard that she's gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, it's gonna be like getting hit by a bus. He's gonna kill her. He's gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Does he spend his entire time fantasizing about them having sex?
I know why, though.
Why?
It's because if Jacob was in Edward's situation, he knows he would have, like, ripped her apart. during sex. He
This
knows
is
that's what he would
weird.
do. Well, Edward's like, no, I don't want to hurt her. And Jacob's like, yes, what you're going to do? You're going to grab her and you're going to fuck her to death. It's like, no, you're
That's
not.
exactly what it's like. And the other werewolves have to turn up to drag him away.
They do. The other, this is the
For
thing.
the
The other
first
werewolves
half
are reasonable.
of the film, the other werewolves are completely normal, and Jacob is psychotically going on about how he wants to kill them.
And I gotta say, it is great when they're running off into the forest, because then the youngest werewolf, who's still wearing a suit, by the way,
Right?
is like, oh, okay, I'll come with you guys. But I reckon he's wearing like a rental, and he's like, I can't transform, guys. I can't transform.
They should.
And he has to run off.
The
Why does he run off in a suit?
The close ripping thing has gotten out of control.
Imagine being being a werewolf.
They through so many changes of clothes.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't change through the
Not
suit.
him, but the others. Like the clothes fly all over the place.
Yeah. You know, if you're a hunter in this area, you got to be like, there are clothes everywhere.
So people have been ripping up their clothes and throwing them all over the place.
What is nudist summer? I don't know what the deal is.
It's got to be something like that.
Yeah. So that's the... Oh, yeah, I also forgot. Jacob still, for some reason, has a bachelor party.
And Edward has a bachelor party.
Oh, sorry.
That would have been really weird.
Edward has a bachelor party.
What are they doing at the bachelor party?
What are they doing? I want to see.
They go to that stripper place from Blade. You know, we're at the first place.
Ah, yeah.
They go to that place.
Wait, a stripper place, or do you mean the rave place?
Yeah, the rave place.
The blood falls down from the roof.
Yeah.
That's probably where they go. Yeah. You can do this once.
One time. It's like allowed.
Yeah.
It's the last time. They turn up the next day and they've got like.
Oh my god! Imagine if they go to the same
eyes.
place where Blade is meant to be, and Blade like kills him, and that's the end of Twilight.
That would have been pretty good.
There's so many jokes about Blade killing them. So that is basically the entire wedding. Then they go to Rio.
It's also a quarter of the film. It feels like it. It's not quite that. Yeah.
I just really it's like they go to Rio, and Rio is a very sunny place, and you're like, what are they doing here? And then
they've got a private island or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they have a private island that they go to, and
now we're forced to watch like half an hour of awkward.
Sex.
She's a teenager who hasn't had sex but who really wants it. But Edward doesn't want to have sex.
That entire section was. I mean, I know it's meant to be, but
it
was
also the only time I felt like Bella was a person because she's actually acting like a human.
It was so much of like build up of like. This is what sex is like. Hey, everyone, if you're a virgin, this is what your first time's going to be like. You're going to do it on the beach.
Well, no, you know what?
She prepared
enjoyed
so
it,
much
right?
shit.
And the next day she's like, "Yeah, that's pretty good." And Edward's coming and going, "Oh, are you okay?
Why
Did I hurt you? Oh my god, you've got a bruise.
Why the fuck?
We're never doing this again."
Would your first time be in the fucking ocean? That's stupid.
I love how
That's
it goes
stupid.
to the bedroom and the whole bedroom's trash.
It's just stupid.
He's lost control.
That was funny. That was funny.
He's destroyed the room. Yeah.
That was
funny.
fucking hilarious.
That was one of the better parts of the film.
Though they also do something which I'm just sick of saying.
The housekeeper, right?
The housekeeper being she's a native, so therefore she knows.
No, it's stories. Like, there's native stories about blood-sucking monsters.
Yeah, but because
she thinks I'm going to kill you.
But because she's a native, she knows.
Right?
What the fuck? Why is it in every movie it's like, God, they're native, they know everything. No.
But she didn't. She was just a busybody.
It's a weirdly like...
She didn't know everything though, but Edward treated her like she did.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I always find that in movies, it's a weirdly racist thing. Like, it's a positive in some sense.
You can't get away from it in this thing, because in Twilight, the natives are literal, like, werewolves.
Oh, yeah, no. In Rio, though, they're not... They're, of course, probably going to be some, like, spiritual connection.
Whatever.
It's just always a weird thing. And
it wasn't that. It was that
it just bugs
listens to this crazy old woman who keeps busting in whenever they're trying to have sex.
Yeah, they are really bad housekeepers, man.
Well, she's rude.
They've got, like, an entire island? No, mansion?
I think it's just the house.
They've got, like, a big-ass house. And wherever they go, they keep getting busted
Anyway, during the honeymoon, it clips to Edward on the beach with the rest of the werewolves. And he's bitching about how all the other werewolves who have like partners are really happy and they're playing on the beach.
Though he does
their
point out
family.
some important things. Essentially, the imprinting is...
I don't know how that works.
Okay, so from what I got, and this is what he was explaining, I think the imprinting kind of it's kind of one-sided. It's kind of one-sided.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think between the werewolves, because they've got the telepathy thing, it works both ways.
Okay.
But
werewolves
because
to
they're
humans.
imprinting with humans.
I think essentially the thing is, you as a werewolf or whatever, you could imprint on a human, and then essentially that human just has to love you, which it kind of turns them into a slave.
Them.
No, I think it turns the other way.
No. What?
No, they have to love you. It makes them a slave to you. That's why he doesn't like it.
No, Jacob. No. What?
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
That's what he was saying. That's why he was like, it's not cool.
Jacob imprints on them.
Uh-huh.
He is now obsessed with the baby. The baby isn't necessarily obsessed with him. It's not.
Are you sure? I thought it was the other way. I thought the baby now has to be obsessed with him.
No.
Are you sure?
Where have you gotten this from?
I'm pretty sure it's the other way.
Film? That's why he's going on. It's like, oh yeah, you become you imprint on someone. You become like obsessed with them. And
so
stuff.
let's just say that.
That's why he's gonna. He was.
It does work one way.
The female werewolf is like, oh, you haven't imprinted on Bella, so you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not. He's like, yeah, he can love other people. The minute he imprints on the baby, that's it. He goes on about it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a protector. I'm a brother. I'm whatever she wants. He becomes her slave, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not. Not.
Well, I think you're right.
I
but
think
all
it
I'm
works
saying is
two ways with the werewolves because they've got the telepathy thing, so they can imprint on each other.
Ah.
But if the werewolf imprints on a human and they don't like them, it's not necessarily a sex thing. That's the thing. You don't necessarily become their lovers.
He does want to fuck the baby.
But you're their slave, basically.
Yeah, he was so big about slaves.
Well, maybe not slave.
No,
but
I think he did say slave.
Yeah.
I think he used the word slave.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's sitting on the beach watching the happy families, and he's going on about, yeah, the only good thing about him turning Bella, I finally get to kill them all. And in one of the best parts of any of the films, the other werewolves like tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
They're like, get over it.
The first ones are like, you should just get over the girl who obviously doesn't like you. And the other ones are like, Jacob, we're not going to war with the vampires. I don't care if they're turned Bella.
Yeah.
They're our allies.
We seem to like the vampires at this point, Jacob.
Yeah. The other
werewolf... the fuck over it!
Now, they do a huge 180 later in the film.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I like the other werewolves. Right? They talk sense, and Jacob is off his fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
Going on about how he wants to kill them all.
Yeah. Jacob's fucking weird, man.
Then he starts bitching about the other werewolves, going, oh, I should have beat Alpha. I should kill Sam and take over. They're all slaves to their imprinting.
He has this fight bit with Sam.
I'm the grandson of the chief.
No,
that doesn't come in until later.
Let's just get through it because it's dumb.
Well, we got to get
But that's just a random fight bit. No, that was even before he leaves them. Oh no, that was when he leaves them.
Yeah. Okay. So. Cuts back to the honeymoon.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's
Bella
get through
realizes her period's late.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm pregnant.
Yep, it's pretty quick. But the thing is, too...
I think... I don't know if they've ever actually said it, but they've hinted at it that vampires can't get pregnant.
Oh, no, I think they've said it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So Edward is shocked. He's like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
We can't let this happen. And the whole time, like, you knew she could get... Or, like... Even if you didn't think she could get pregnant, maybe you should have been using protection or something.
I don't know, though. You know what,
there
though?
Were ways to,
wait. You know what, though?
Scared about getting her pregnant.
When you do, like, cut them in half, they, like, turn into dust sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like their physiology should be a little bit different.
The vampires?
Yeah. I do kind of get where he's coming from.
He didn't, but it's like, but he looks it up and then it's like, oh yeah, it's totally possible for vampires to get humans pregnant.
Yeah, they don't look up anything.
Yeah.
They don't know anything. He's 109.
I love it. When he finds out she's pregnant, he's like, he's looking up, what happens if a vampire gets a woman pregnant on Google Images. So it's just coming up with images of like horrible baby monsters.
Oh, yeah.
And he's freaking out. And he's like, oh, it's a monster. We got to get it out of her.
It's a demon.
But he finds out she's pregnant. And then the first thing that happens, the housekeeper turns up.
Yeah.
And she comes in and is like, and Bella's like, oh yeah, we got to get back home. And he's like, wait, let's see what the housekeeper says.
Oh my God, that was
that
dumb.
woman we've just met once.
That was so
dumb. Who seems to be a bit crazy. So she goes up, realizes she's pregnant, and goes, monster, baby. Edward's like, oh, she's right. It's a monster. We got to get it out of her. Got to kill the baby. Got to kill the baby.
She's just some random ass housekeeper.
Yeah.
I'm just
Bella's
sick of that weird
let's go
shit.
home to Cullen, the doctor.
The doctor.
Who seems to know what's going on.
I'm sorry. The doctor. He does call up the doctor. He
Yeah.
does call him up.
Straight away.
And he's like, yeah, come home. That's the one thing. They do go straight home.
Yeah.
Because this other woman's just like, we're going to put you in a salt circle And I don't know.
We're gonna do exorcism.
It's fucking hell, man.
Yeah, so she gets back to her place, and she's not looking good. The baby apparently has advanced. Like obviously they don't want to go through 9 months of filming.
The baby's like coming out in a week or two. Yeah, it's super strong.
And it's like bruising her.
No, it's
stuff.
meant to be super fast.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
But I kind of
Jacob figures out that they're there somehow. I can't remember how.
What?
I can't remember how he realizes they're there, or is it because?
Oh, Jacob is because they didn't come home on time or something like that. Remember?
Oh yeah. So he immediately runs to kill the Cullens.
Dude,
this is the first time he busts into the house.
Jacob changes his opinion on what's happened. Like, he changes his side now from this point.
I honestly, I lost track.
Dude, I didn't know
where he
what
turns
he was
up
doing.
And he's defending the house, and I'm like, I thought he wanted to kill.
Not only that, but he also does like one where he says he's going to kill them, but he's actually tricking the other werewolves. But I didn't know it was a trick because he does it like before he wanted to.
That's why the other werewolves must fucking hate him, because he's always changing his mind and attacking them.
He is such a loser. He is a massive loser.
It's like Edward thinks that he and Bella have some sort of connection because Jacob's always protecting him. Because it's like, no, Bella tolerates him like a psychotic friend. Anyway, he turns up to their house, finds out she's pregnant, and immediately like runs away, telling them that he's gonna kill them all. And that it's a monster.
Dude, he was. That's the thing. I was like, oh, he wants to kill him. But then the other werewolves want to kill him. But then as soon as he
turns into a werewolf, runs down to where the other wolves are.
They're down with it.
They have a big telepathy conversation.
No, but then he's straight away against them.
Yeah, he's like, oh, they've got a baby. It's an abomination. It's a monster. And it's like, I think that's sort of the telepathy thing. And then the other wolves are like, well, we got to kill it. It's a monster.
But then he says, no, you can't kill it.
And he has their stupid fight where he's like, no. I'm strong. I'm the grandson of the...
Dude.
Somebody.
He went full anime then.
Yeah.
He went like cringy ass anime line.
And he can't pull it off. He's got this goofy voice. It just sounds bad.
It's so cringy, him being like, I am the grandfather of a chieftain. I'm the grandson of a chieftain.
If you've seen him in any of the other shows he's in, he always does like goofball comedies where he's just like a goofball.
Yeah.
He's in like Cuckoo, or he's in a couple of Adam Sandler films, and he suits that character. He is not a tough guy at all.
I just couldn't stand that scene. I cringed
and it's
so
hilarious.
hard.
It goes on for a minute, but it's probably the most important scene out of the movie for the movie, because it explains why for the rest of the film, the werewolves are blockading their house.
So he ditches them, and two of the wolves come with him.
The two likable wolves.
Yeah, the two likable.
The brother and the sister. Yeah.
They come with him.
They're like, yeah, we're trying to be reasonable, and he bitches at them constantly.
So from this point, like, okay.
The rest of the film is angst between the vampires and the wolves, and Jacob.
Yeah. Well, really, the rest of the film is more...
about either wanting to kill or protect everybody.
But the rest of the film, and this bit's done well. It's just very odd that they chose to do in this film. The rest of the film is more or less
Bella
watching
getting
Bella.
sicker and sicker.
Bella slowly getting sicker and sicker.
For a bit, she looks like one of those Auschwitz videos.
Oh, totally.
Auschwitz photos, where they come out. They went above and beyond. It looks great.
Yeah, for any movie, like... This movie,
they realize the baby wants blood, so the vampires have to like run the blockade to get her blood and stuff.
My point is, for this movie, right, Twilight.
Yeah.
If any movie's gonna glorify what like having a baby's like,
well, that's it, because you kept going on how it's like it's an anti-abortion movie, and I'm like,
okay,
fine.
right.
I was just trying to analyze
before we get to that, if any movie's gonna glorify like what a baby's like or death is like, right, like make it look pretty. It would be Twilight films, right? But no, not in this one.
The vampires sparkle in the sunlight.
This movie did really well.
Well, that's it.
But they shouldn't have. I could have had a prettier death.
So basically, nothing happens for like an hour and a half.
Oh wait, what about the abortion?
An hour. Yeah, up until we'll get to that.
What? What are you talking about?
I thought you wanted to talk about it afterwards.
No. I wanted to get to it now. I just want to get through how they made everything pretty. Quite not pretty.
When
they
the
made
baby
everything
finally comes.
Bella
it is
looks
horrific.
Bella looks like shit almost this whole and when she dies, you're like, yeah, she was gonna die. Yeah. And when she's a dead body, you're like, that's a dead body. It's not in so many other
The
films,
baby,
they're
at
normally
one
like
part,
fully
okay,
fleshed out.
there
They
was
look
one part
beautiful.
I laughed at is when she's standing towards the end. She's like, "Oh, I think the baby's coming soon." The baby snaps her spine.
Oh
she,
my
like,
God.
collapses.
That
and it's
looked
like
fucking
every
terrifying.
bit of her bone, every bone in her body was breaking.
That's the thing. This movie at that point turns into like some kind of a almost not body horror, but turns into like a sort of horror film where it's like people's bones are contorting and they're
she's
super
snapping all over the place.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fucked up. They do have this one scene which is a bit too much on the nose, where one of the vampires like, oh, okay, like the fetus is gonna kill her
because Edward's
let's
like,
remove the
if
fetus.
Edward keeps going, his self-loathing and his loathing for the vampires is painful all the way through. But he's going on about how it's like, oh, it's a monster, we got to get it out of her.
And then they also point out that the fetus is gonna kill her.
Yeah.
So one of them's like, well, we should take out the fetus, and then this other the other blonde vampire just goes, baby, it's a baby, say baby. And then from that point on, they're just like, okay, we're not going to take it out, which is weird because at that point, they were all in agreement almost.
I get where you're coming. It's like, there's definitely an anti-abortion
There's
message.
a big anti-abortion
I
message.
agree.
But in this movie...
There are some things that's like, okay, she doesn't think she's going to die. Like, because she thinks she's going to be turned at the last minute.
No, they all...
and she's going to be a vampire.
No way, they all were saying she's going to die.
She doesn't. And Cullen, the doctor... He thinks he's going to be able to turn her. He's like prepared a lot of stuff.
True.
And you know what? It does.
The point is
she dies, but she does turn into a vampire.
There is quite clearly written an anti-abortion message.
I think one of her things is that she really wanted a family.
Yeah.
So she is quite defensive about.
I know, but
child.
I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying that I agree that there's a heavy anti-abortion message.
Yeah.
But there are some like character reasons for why it's happening.
But I gotta say, it is interesting though. Then for the rest of the film, you're just going like, yeah, get an abortion. Like,
maybe she should have an abortion.
Because,
Although considering how strong the child was, I'm pretty sure it's like if you tried, it would just
punch you back.
Give you an abortion.
Yeah. Because
Also, for an anti-abortion message, the birth is so bloody and violent. If I was watching this and I was a girl, I'd be like, damn, I don't want anything like that ever happening to me. That's horrifying.
Yeah, this movie did not make the birth look pretty.
It finally gets to the birth. The werewolves and the vampires are fighting.
The Dr. Cullen. Why isn't he there?
So he's fighting with the werewolves because they're blockading the place.
Well, he went out to get blood.
Yeah, he had to go out and get blood for her drink so the baby doesn't kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob has one of his moments where I couldn't figure out what he was doing to distract the other werewolves. So basically the doctor and all the adult, like normal vampires aren't there. So it's just the blonde vampire and Edward, which is like the worst combination to have. Oh, the blonde vampire is not bad. But the minute she starts, the baby starts coming.
There's some other vampires there.
So they're like, we're going to have to give her
a C-section.
Uh-huh. She starts cutting into her. She gets overtaken by the blood.
Yeah.
So Jacob has to like drag her out.
Mm-hmm.
Edward goes over and is like, well, can't reach over to grab the knife in time. Guess the next best thing is just to bite into my girlfriend.
With his
Rip her
mouth.
open with my mouth.
He cut the baby out with his mouth.
Chews her open and pulls the baby out.
Why did they write that?
Dies.
That's not hot at all.
It's terrifying.
That's fucking weird.
And apparently this section caused like epileptic seizures in some people because the way it's shot is like there's blood spraying everywhere. It's flashing white because we're seeing it from Bella's perspective.
Yeah, the director really
blood
went for this.
is spraying into her face as her like husband rips the baby out. Is like, oh my god, the cord's still attached. Bite it off! Bite it off!
Everyone's like, ah. He's like a rabid dog.
It's like, no wonder she dies. Anyway, the minute Edward gets the baby out... Oh, no, so before the baby gets born, almost beforehand, he finally, like, warms up to it because he's like, up until a point, he's like, it's a monster, we gotta kill it. We gotta kill it. Even if it's born normally, right? I'm gonna kill the baby because I can't love anything that'd hurt you.
Yeah.
Finally, the baby starts having, like, thoughts and he's like, oh, okay, no, I like the baby. Just like that. That's how it is with these characters.
This whole movie,
switches just get flicked and their entire attitude changes.
Oh, yeah, good point. Let's not do it.
You know what? I like the baby now.
Yeah.
And Jacob is like, I want to kill them. I don't want to kill them. I want to kill them. The baby gets born. Jacob has another moment where he walks in to kill them. He sees the baby and the creepiest shit happens where he imprints on it. And all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna fuck the baby. I'm gonna stay around that baby for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
She is mine.
She's mine.
It
was weird.
It is the culmination of his character as being the biggest creep.
You know what? It's because he couldn't get Bella.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get Bella's daughter. That's fucked.
Right?
It's fucking weird.
And he also gets payback on Edward as well. Hey, Edward, I'm gonna bang your daughter.
Do you reckon he would have done it if it was a baby male?
You know...
Would have he done it if it was a baby boy?
It turns out it's a girl. No.
If it was a boy, he would have been like, nah.
You know what? I so hope that one day there's a sequel where we find out the daughter, despite having Jacob around as like a servant, hooks up with someone else.
Probably.
Yeah. And Jacob has to go through his whole thing again.
You know, she was writing another book that was meant to be like, I think it was meant to be from Edward's point of view or something like that. I think it was like that.
God, I'd hate to read that. Edward brooded quietly about how much of a monster he is and how he doesn't deserve to be happy. For the 50th time.
Yeah.
Today. That's what he does. The other vampires are setting up the...
Imagine if he just has one really long fucking diary. Like, it's like a giant, like, huge book. And someone's, oh, this is amazing, a vampire's diary. You open up and it's like, dear diary.
I hate myself.
I hate life. Next day. Dear diary, I hate everything.
I love Bella. I hate myself for loving Bella.
Dear diary, My Chemical Romance is pretty cool. It's like
they're setting at the start of the film. They're setting up for his wedding, right?
Yeah.
And he's standing, and they look up, and he's like, "Oh, he's still in his room. He's standing there brooding." As like he goes to the honeymoon, and he's like having the most miserable time, constantly going on about how he doesn't want to fuck her and stuff.
Hey, he's better than Jacob.
Painful.
He's better than
still,
Jacob.
Miles better than Jacob.
I think what out is it? I think that's
they imprint.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's that way the werewolves.
No, so what happens is.
Oh, that does. Okay, that was dumb. Okay, he imprints on them.
Their highest law apparently is that you can't kill someone they've imprinted on.
But they're
whatever.
They break laws all the time.
It's so stupid. It doesn't matter.
It is.
It does not matter. Bella dies.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, okay. Didn't think that was going to happen.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Bella. I was going to end the podcast.
Well, again, this is the best. This is the best Bella one because it's got the least of her in it.
I was full on gonna be like, that's it. They jam her
with a syringe, inject her with the venom.
Yeah,
so she gets a mega dose.
Well, it does work. Sorry,
you see it working. Like you see it spreading. Whenever it cuts to it spreading through her body, it's moving real fast. But apparently, she was dead for days. And then right at the end, her eyes pop open, and she's a vampire.
Yes,
and that's where the movie finishes.
That's when it and you can tell you're like, okay, can we just hurry the fuck up and watch the next movie?
Okay, so it's obvious that this was one book split into two because there's not enough material for a movie here.
Boring as hell.
There is so much. It feels like the conflict's contrived, and this was just made to split into a second movie, another movie.
Oh yeah,
like there clearly was not enough here to make two movies.
Not disagreeing at all. 100%.
I will say there's a little cameo at the start from her parents and her friends. Her dad shows up a couple of times throughout the film, going, "Where's my daughter?"
How? I want to help my daughter.
I feel so bad for the dad. The mother though turns up at the wedding and couldn't give a fuck afterwards. Right? The mother is such a background character.
The mother talks.
She turns up to do a speech at the start where she does a cringy song, and that's it.
Honestly, yeah, that's it. That's this movie. There's not much more.
The dad. I want to see the movie from the dad's perspective.
The dad
him trying to solve these fucking serial killings.
Yeah.
While his daughter's running around with this psychotic guy, and then the boy you actually like turns out to be even worse.
That sounds like actually a great. That sounds like a really good
We've been over this before. The movie from the dad's perspective would be better.
It's a really good movie.
But a lot darker.
Make it really dark. Make it really cold. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Make it a cold film. Like,
anyway,
ooh, chilly.
This film really feels like it's just setting up for the next one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I've got nothing more to say about that.
I'm going to guess that the baby causes problems.
No.
But with the
Venturi,
the Venturi have to come back.
We know what's happening. All right.
The Venturi were willing to create a horde of vampires to kill most of the Cullens just to get
Bella.
Not
Because
to
Bella
get Bella.
has some superpowers.
They weren't interested in Bella. They were
What?
interested in Edward and Alice.
Yeah.
They were willing to kill vampires and humans to get Edward and Alice. What are they going to do to get this baby? We don't even know. It's meant to be like a super vampire or something. So I'm going to guess that it's something to do with that.
Yeah, let's do our predictions. Okay, so
the werewolves are going to be on their side.
Powers?
Huh?
Bella's power is to make everyone around her depressed.
No, Bella's already had her powers the whole time. It's to make everyone worship her and just do whatever she wants.
Okay.
People have already been falling over themselves to protect
her. So the Venturi will come and fight. The cousins will come and help them. The wolves will come and help them.
Side, yeah.
And
how quick do you think the baby's going to grow? Because she's not going to be a baby in the next movie. She's going to be like
you reckon
toddler,
the baby's going to fight too?
Maybe even a tween.
The baby's going to fight
No, I don't think she's going to fight, but how old do you think she's going to be?
No, I think it's going to be like Kung Pao. The baby, like, they're going to be
losing.
Oh,
yes.
And the baby jumps out, and it's a little baby goes, Wah!
And she knows Kung Fu. That's her power. Okay.
That'd be
sick.
She is
the chosen one.
She's the chosen one.
Open your mouth.
Oh, yeah, oh my God, it opens up and
just starts smacking the Venturi
that'd be
around.
fucking sick.
Okay.
I wish that happened.
It's not going to be too cool.
But you reckon it's going to rapidly age?
I'm wondering how old she's going to be.
16.
I was thinking
16,
tween.
17.
I was thinking tween or toddler at least.
Nah,
Something that they can
16, 17.
act with. You know?
Nah, I reckon it's going to be a 16 or 17 year old.
Okay, whatever.
Because they're all 16 or 17 year olds.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's the only reason I'm saying that. Because
well, they had in the flash forwards where Jacob's seeing her in the future.
A 16-year-old.
You think it's going to be that actress?
I don't know. Honestly, it's either it's going to just stay as a baby. Or I don't know.
I really hope though.
It's
that
not
no
gonna
matter
get.
what happens, she doesn't like Jacob.
I want to put down a proper prediction, so I'm gonna go with it's gonna be like 16s or like teen. It's gonna be teen.
Whatever.
I don't know what teen starts.
It's
like
whatever
13
it
plus.
is. It's gonna be stupid, like the rest of these films.
No, I think the next film's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Vampire fights. Superpowers.
The action so far has been okay.
Superpower vampire fights.
I still don't know what most of the vampires' superpowers are.
I know, right? It's going to be awesome. They're all going to go out and they're all going to play a game of baseball. Baseball!
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
they
me
can
too.
Finally field a whole team of vampires.
We're watching it tonight.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense to put time in a podcast. But anyway, thanks for listening. Do you have anything else to say, sorry, before I end this podcast?
No.
Me either.
I was going to stay isolated and quarantine.
No,
yourself.
don't.
But that will really date it.
You wrecked the fuck.
Like
this is green
months.
content, evergreen.
Oh, okay.
Evergreen content. All right.
Stay safe, people.
Yeah, great.
Or
just in general,
Fine.
Everyone
don't
stay safe.
Don't go around trying to drink each other's blood.
Yeah, that's always.
Do you think the vampires could they get like diseases? No, they can't.
No.
Could they pass on diseases?
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Would Carlisle be the best doctor to have though?
He is the best.
Sick.
He's the best.
Right.
He's meant to be a super dog. I did see that.
He got a bit. He got a little pudgy in this one.
I saw some memes about him.
What?
That like if Carlisle was on the case, he would have solved it, like all these problems.
He would have. He's a good doctor.
He's a good doctor, and he can't get sick. He can't. Okay.
Well, no,
I forgot to mention this.
He can't be sick.
I forgot to mention this. Yeah.
What?
These vampires, not only do they live forever, they don't sleep.
Yeah.
Imagine having perfect energy levels all the time, right? How many books you'd read, how much you'd learn. It seems like Edward in his time, and at least Carlisle looks like he's a doctor with his time, right?
Edward spends 90% of his time brooding.
Most of these vampires
don't seem to do anything.
They don't seem to do or know anything.
Alice, a couple of them actually seem to get into the school thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they enjoy being school students, like the drama and stuff. Good for them. Alice seems like the most normal out of all of them, and Jasper seems much more normal.
But do you get my point, though? If you were like, oh my God, imagine the amount of things you would be able to get done in 10 years.
There's an American Dad episode where he brings home pills that means he doesn't need to sleep.
Yeah.
He just gets really into video games.
But imagine, but for real.
But the wife becomes like an oceanographer.
Right. But that's the thing. Imagine,
that's it, yeah, I get
imagine if you were just for 10 years of your life, right? 10 years of your life, you don't need to sleep. You have perfect
I'm just gonna
energy
say
levels.
I'd probably end up like Stan and just get really into video games.
Well, that's fine. At least you'd walk into your room and there'll just be like a trove of like video games that have been 100% complete. That's the thing. That even makes sense to me as like a side bit of their character, that they're completionists on video games.
Yeah.
They read lots of books, but instead they seem so hollow.
What does the wife do? Like the kids go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Carlisle goes and bees a doctor. What does the wife do?
Dude, she's a good wife.
She's the homemaker.
She's a
They
good
got a
wife.
kick-ass home. They got a mansion, man.
What does she need a homemake for? Do they eat food? I think they do. I think they do eat food.
No, they don't.
What the fuck did she do?
Because they make a special meal when she comes in.
They don't sleep.
They seem to be much more friendly than Edward. Like, they want to throw parties and have fun.
What does the wife do?
I just thought of that. I'm not sure. What do the werewolves do? Like, do they have jobs? Or do they just hang around the reservation bumming off the regular Indians who have jobs?
Right?
Do they
because
get government money? I don't know how
what's
that
the
works
deal
in
with that? I
America.
think we brought it up in the other one. The werewolf, the werewolf dudes.
They just seem to run around.
Yeah, but they also have like a nice, like modern.
Yeah,
quiche,
the
like,
rest of the Indians on the reservation live in these shitty shacks. And
It's
then it
Native
cuts
Americans.
to. Huh?
It's Native Americans.
Native Americans.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're meant to. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. What do they call themselves?
I'm not sure it's Indians. No, don't, because that
in
one's...
the show.
Oh,
No, I mean,
in the show?
Yeah, what's their group's name?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Yeah. Sam's got this like nice open log cabin thing.
See, I don't know.
And the rest of them live in shitty shacks.
Right? Yeah, no, they have this brilliant like setup
You only
thing.
see it a little bit.
It's like glass
But
on the
they
outdoor.
seem to just spend all their time bumming around on the beach.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, at least the vampires.
When you have superpowers, bum
Yeah.
around the beach. That's what
But
I
the
do.
werewolves, are they immortal? They're not immortal.
Dude, nothing's explained.
No, the werewolves aren't immortal.
No,
The
they're not.
vampires are.
Yes.
Okay. Whatever.
That's-
There's a lot in this. I'm assuming maybe these are answered in the books or something, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to read the books.
fucking tempted.
You did like Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a book that's split into two, the final one, that made sense. Like, there's so much packed into it.
You know, I still haven't
it
watched
makes
that.
sense.
Anyway, we are getting off topic, but I
Yeah.
still haven't watched those.
Anyway,
ones.
that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, let's end it with that. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back with the final part of, well, hopefully, is it right?
Breaking Dawn,
Yeah.
Part 2.
Breaking Dawn Part 2. Thanks for listening to the end of the reel. If you know anyone else who is a fan of good bad movies, share this podcast around to them. Sharing is the best way to help promote our podcast.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.